Hello everyone, Dadwell here, and today we'll be doing something I actually got the idea of from another YouTuber here on, well, YouTube. I will be linking them in the description as their creation and skill far exceeds my own. I really recommend you check them out and give them a like and subscribe if you haven't already. They are far better than I ever will be at this. And I'm going to be beginning with the fighting type for the first gym. To explain what we're doing here, I'm going to be making one type of team per gym. It can be Pokemon from any generation, but we cannot use any duplicates, meaning only one Pokemon of the same exact type and form per team. Only one team can have that Pokemon's exact form. We also won't use any regional gimmicks like Mega Evolution, C moves, and Terrestrialization, and I'll be back with you when the team is made. Here we are. This is the team I have chosen. Annihilape, Lucario, Hitmonchan, Pangoro, Conkeldurr, and Breloom. Now, I will be explaining why I picked each of these before I go into their movesets, abilities, and etc. Annihilape. I've always loved the Pokemon Mankey ever since I began playing Pokemon, and it's really useful to have a Ghost type on the team in general. We will also have Lucario, the Aura Pokemon, because a Steel type means that it's going to be more durable. Hitmonchan for those very useful combinations of punching attacks. I'll explain more into that later. Pangoro, specifically to say no to psychic types, just being able to sweep the gym. Conkeldurr, mainly here because another favorite of mine. And Breloom because it is a classic, well-loved fighting type. Now I'll be explaining them here. My Annihilape would specifically use the moves Rage Fist, Close Combat, sorry about that. I just realized I accidentally hit something when I'm speaking, so it didn't actually register my voice. I'm gonna keep that in just because it's funny. It's gonna have, I'm gonna repeat, Rage Fist, Close Combat, Bulldoze, and Drain Punch. To explain why, Drain Punch to heal, Bulldoze specifically to stop enemies from using Dig, or well, challengers. It could go, actually no, let's swap Bulldoze for Earthquake. Again, to stop Dig, Rage Fist because it's a signature move and it can hurt ghosts, and Close Combat for a heavy damage fighting move, even though it will weaken me. Now, that sounds all good and dandy. So, I will be using the Vital Spirit ability to avoid being put to sleep. Now, I'll move on to Lucario. After saying this, Annihilape would simply be holding a muscle band to boost the physical moves. Now on to Lucario. Now for Lucario, I would be running something a little different. I would be running Aura Sphere, its signature move. I would also be running Sword Stance to buff myself. I would be running Extreme Speed for priority. Actually, yeah, let's run Extreme Speed and Protect just to delay a little. After all, a good martial artist is good at both attacking and defending. And these teams, just like the YouTuber I am taking the inspiration from, well, they're meant to be able to symbolize the type as well, not just be good. Now, specifically, the ability I'd use for Lucario would be Inner Focus to prevent them from flinching. Now let's move on to my favorite Pokemon on this team, Hitmonchan. Also, I'm realizing afterwards. I'm going to cut this in now here. I forgot to mention what item Lucario had because this is my first time doing this and I got a little excited about talking about one of my favorite Pokemon. Lucario would be holding leftovers, as he would be this steadfast, like, guardian style martial artist. Anyway, now on to Hitmonchan. Now, this is one of the easiest movesets for me to put together. He would have Drain Punch, Thunder Punch, Fire Punch, and Bullet Punch. His ability would be Iron Fist. And for those of you who don't know what that is, which honestly I understand if you don't, it is a very niche ability that specifically powers up the damage from punching moves. We will also be using the Punching Glove item that even further enhances punching moves, so you can really start swinging in the ring. Now, so far, the team seems really good. The angry barbarian style Annihilate, the Guardian in Lucario, and the guy who's gonna wombo combo you in the ring in Hitmonchan. Now on to Pangoro. For Pangoro, I'm gonna be going very differently. I'm gonna be using the moves Drain Punch, Sword Stance, Iron Head, and Brutal Swing. To really just show that wrestling spirits. I'm going to be using the ability Scrappy to let him hit ghost types with normal and fighting type moves. And I would give them leftovers as their item to just symbolize the bulk. Now, we have 4 really good Pokemon. I'm going to be going on to Conkeldurr next. So let's go. Here we are. Conkeldurr is going to be, well, unlike what you have would expect from what you've heard so far, you would specifically be using the moves Dig, Stone Edge, wait, what was the move's name? Sorry, I'm misreading this. There we go. Body Slam. And the last move he would have in his set would once again be Drain Punch as the signature move of this gym. Now, the ability I would give him would have to be Iron Fist, his hidden ability. Now, you can understand soon why. The ability I'm going to give Conkeldurr would be another muscle band. Because while I do allow dupes of items, I don't want it to be the entire team's item. So far, I have a pretty solid team. Nothing that truly deals with flying types, though, aside from Conkeldurr. So let's go on to Breloom. And now let's do this. On my boy, I would use Thunder Punch, Giga Drain, where is it? I love it when I accidentally drop my notes. Right, you know what? Let's just redo the list. Mach Punch. Here, Aerial Ace, Thunder Punch, and Giga Drain. That would be his moveset. We will also be using specifically the ability of his known as Effect Spore, meaning whenever they're hit, the opponent gets random debuffs, basically. The ability I'd give Breloom, well, not ability, but the item, sorry, would have to be another leftover, as Breloom will be, just like Lucario's role, more of a guardian to keep your opponents from sweeping. Now, this gym here would be set to be the final gym before the Elite Four, which is why it's built like this. Every type I do will have a different set combination. And I hope you have all enjoyed. If you have any questions, comment them down below. I will be posting the link to the original YouTuber who gave me this idea in the description. Please check them out. Daryl out.